Question 6 should look familiar. We had a problem on our seminar that was pretty much like this. This is the one where we're going to use geometry, the actual geometric probability, to find the answer. So Caitlin's at the zoo, and she plans to listen to a very special presentation on sea lions and tigers. The sea lions presentation is given every 60 minutes. So what I'll do, I'll represent this with a length of 60 minutes. Okay, this is my sea lions, isn't it? I'll put the sea lion in there. And then we know the tigers, they're every 40 minutes, aren't they? So that's just representing the problem. In fact, when I find the probability, I can look at my sample space here. That is going to be 40 times 60, or 2,400, isn't it? 2,400 square minutes. Now, what I want to do is, what's the probability she arrives at the zoo and waits 15 minutes or less? So in other words, this is 15 then, isn't it? And then 15 here again. I'll represent that. Might not draw to scale. So my area, so my favorable outcome of waiting less than 15 minutes, well, that's going to be 15 squared, or 225. So my probability of waiting less than 15 minutes for each presentation is going to be 225 out of 2,400. So then let's take a look here. Let's clear this out. If I take 225 and then divide that by 2,400, then I'm going to get about a 9% chance of it being picked. Now, letter B. What's the probability that Caitlin arrives at the zoo and waits 15 minutes less for one presentation? So what I'll do here is, if I take a look here for one presentation, if I look at my sea lion, I've got 15, but I have to multiply that by that whole length, right? And so 15 times 40, okay? That'll be, let me draw that in here. So if I go sea lions, they're going to be 15. So this would be waiting less than 15 minutes for the sea lions. So I'm going to go 15 times 40. Pretty sure that's 6,000, but I'm going to double check because that's the end of the day. It's 600. Can't count my zeros. So I get 600. Then I'll do the same thing for the tigers. That will be that'll be 15 minutes times 60, won't it? So that would be waiting less than 15 minutes for the tigers. So that's 15 times 60, because we got out of that 60 minutes there. So 15 times 60 is 900. Now when I look at that though, if I add those up, I get 1,500. But notice I've double counted the 15. This was waiting for one presentation, wasn't it? Okay, so that's double counted, so I better subtract off my 225. So 1,500 minus 225, and I'll get 1,275. So then that's the area of that whole rectangle that would be waiting 15 minutes or less for one of them. Then I'll divide that by the total, which we said was 2,400. So 1275 divided by 2,400. And you get 0.53. And that's our answer. Okay, question 7. 5 classmates out of 24 classmates will be chosen for a secret event. Since we're choosing them, the order doesn't matter, does it? So that's a combination of 24 things, 5 at a time. Just use your calculator. So I'm going to do a combination of 24 things, people. We're going to choose them 5 at a time. There are 42,504 ways to do that. Don't have to, you can just use your calculator. You don't have to use the formula. That's all there is to it.